Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to the Polity, coming to you live from the Abuja studios of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network, commonly referred to as KAFTANTV. The Polity is a program that takes a deep dive into unfolding political events within Nigeria and even beyond the shores of the country. So much is happening within the polity in the country, ranging from PDP crisis in Rivers State. It has to do with litigations and counter litigations, as well as ECOWAS, the suspension of 3 countries from the ECOWAS sub-region, talking about Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, that the ECOWAS leadership has given them 6 months notice, as well as insecurity, where we are hearing that northwest region of Nigeria is topping the list of ransom payments that amounted to 2.2 trillion naira in just 12 months, as well as stories making headlines that Dangote refineries has extended the export of the finished petroleum products to 3 additional countries in the continent of Africa. We're also taking a look at Vice President Shettima versus Kemi Badenoch, the Conservative Party's leader in the United Kingdom, where there has been a backlash between the 2 people, as well as reactions by Nigerians. And we will, as we wind down the program, we'll take a look at the magnanimity extended to elder statesman General Yakubu Gowon by the President Tinubu-led government by renaming University of Abuja to Yakubu Gowon University. And to help us break all this down is no other person than Comrade Daboikiabo Warmate. Daboikiabo Warmate, you're welcome to the Polity.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Comrade Warmate is a People's Democratic Party chieftain from Rivers State. We're going to open our telephone line in the course of the show so that viewers, as usual, our vibrant callers can call in to verbalize their thoughts, by sharing their thought with us, so that Nigerians can have a feel of what our callers feel. Let's make the program conversational. Let's make it interactive. Let's make it incisive. And the show is yours. Please begin to call in. We will display our telephone line in the course of the show, barely about 15 minutes or so into the show. Let me ask you, you are a PDP chieftain from Rivers State.
Very true.
Definitely, today we're going to have a roller coaster ride, of conversation, taking, a journey into unfolding events in Nigeria. We cannot achieve that. We cannot end this program or even kickstart this program without talking about your own party, the People's Democratic Party. Everybody knows that it's been plunged into crisis. 3 months into the departure of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, as the erstwhile governor of Rivers State, after handing over to his successor, his protege, so to speak, Siminalayi Fubara, crisis erupted in Rivers State. And the latest is that the Court of Appeal has reversed or set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court, barring the Central Bank of Nigeria from, disbursing funds, statutory allocated funds to Rivers State. Let me give us an overview of the crisis in Rivers State and where you stand from your own perspective. There are 2 sides of the divide, and there are also people that are sitting on the fence. Some are pro-Wike, while we know that others are pro the governor, Siminalayi Fubara. We don't know where you belong yet, but give us an overview of the crisis.
Well, in Rivers State, just like I said, number one, let me start by saying that PDP don't have crisis. What we have is interest wrangling.
Okay.
We don't have crisis. At the national, we have only one national chairman in the person of Ambassador Umailia Damagu. At the state level, that is Rivers State, we have only one state chairman in the person of Honorable Chukwemeka Aaron. So there is no crisis, so to speak, within the PDP, but there are interest wrangling within the party. That is understood. And now, the former governor of the state ensured that PDP won all the elections in Rivers State with his supporters, which the present governor today was one of them, and campaign assiduously to ensure that the governor emerges as against those that are flocking around him today, that even went as far as planning to unseat him via the courts. But because it is what God wants, he remained there. And today, because of their little misunderstanding between the FCT minister and the governor, they took advantage of that. But it's unfortunate that the governor fell into their hands.
Okay.
I understood the fact that he's a political neophyte, yes, but he shouldn't have given the opportunity to those that did not want him to be, and scored magnanimity through the magnanimity of God and benevolence. Use the former governor, who is the present minister of FCT, to bring you to govern the people of Rivers State. Within 2 months, you have been with this man for 20 more years. Within 2 months, you cannot bear whatever you claim he has expressed or he has demanded. And he has come up to say, I have never demanded any money from the sitting governor. I only want him to keep the structure that brought him to be. He shouldn't destroy it. That is it. And that is what every politician will say. Forget about that. We see them today making comments differently. But look at, go to their various states. That is what they are doing. So the FCT minister has not done anything wrong by bringing the governor, and the governor should show appreciation. He has the governor, God has used the FCT minister to make him a governor, and that is your life. Nobody can remove him. But it's unfortunate that within 2 months or so, or 3 months, you begin to rebel and make yourself a prodigal son. If I were to advise, if I was to advise the governor, I would tell him, please, just like the prodigal son, go back to your father and tell him I've sinned. I'm here. So let's talk.
Okay,
better.
I think you alluded to the fact that he's a neophyte, a political neophyte.
Yes, he is.
And we can make so many enemies because there are heavyweights within the political party that ought to have, supported him. Yes, but he told them, no, I have a preferred candidate, a neophyte for that matter, and he has made so many enemies. But today, the people of Rivers State are the ones that are suffering, because they said, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. So how does it make you feel about the people of Rivers State? Well, because they are at the receiving end.
Yes, we are at the receiving end. There is no doubt about that. But the issue is that I wish the governor will come back to his right senses. And even God don't appreciate people that are not grateful. Whatever it is, God has used this man to make you what you are today. I have worked in the public service. I have worked not based on promotion, not based on your level they promoted you. Sometimes there are people that they are younger, junior in the service are being promoted above them. But this man from your career contributed immensely to your civil service career, took you into the political arena, encouraged you, and today you are the governor from nowhere. People that said no, you cannot be, today are the ones that are your friend. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing. Even God himself will not be happy with such people. That is the truth. And that's why I personally will want to advise the governor. You have acted like a prodigal son. Complete the process by going back and plead with him. He's a man. When you go back and said, my father, I've sinned, each will look at if there is any fault he has, you say, okay, me too, I've done this wrong. So let's see how we can move forward. That is it.
How many factions do you have in Rivers State with PDP? Because I know there is an Edwin Walker-led faction.
No. There is no faction in Rivers State. I've just told you that. We only have the PDP State Congress was conducted, and Honorable Aaron Chukwuemeka emerged as the state chairman, and those that emerged with him are there. We don't have faction in Rivers State. We have only one PDP. In Nigeria, we don't have faction. We have only one national chairman, Ambassador Damagu. In Rivers State, only Honorable Aaron Chukwuemeka finished. There is no faction in Rivers State. We know there are great persons, but you cannot use the word faction.
Okay, are they renegades?
Well, if you wish to call them that, but we know that there is no faction in PDP. We have only one PDP, and the PDP is making progress, both in Rivers State and at the national.
Okay, let's now digress a little bit. During the inauguration of the Tony Okocha-led APC executive in Port Harcourt on Saturday, the national chairman of the APC, Ganduje, declared that capturing Rivers, he used the word capturing Rivers State's government house is a top priority for APC in the upcoming election cycle. Well, how do you react to that?
No, let me tell His Excellency Dangote that he has failed. You should go and check the DNA of Rivers people. You will see, check the DNA and the blood, you will see PDP. PDP, that's why you see anybody that leaves PDP in Rivers State fails. It's very difficult, moreover, when it comes to the governorship. Amechi left PDP to APC. Did he come back? We saw the federal might against the present FCT minister. I was in my hometown. Not that somebody told me. I experienced it. We resisted the forces. So Dangote should go and look out to deliver Kanu for APC and not Rivers State, because Rivers State there is no, it's impossible.
In Rivers State?
Yes. Rivers people are our party, our traditional party is PDP.
Okay.
Yes.
But would you agree that APC won in 2023 in Rivers State?
No, definitely not. In 2020, the governorship?
No, not governorship. They gave it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes.
Through the instrumentality of
the FCT minister. You see, the problem people have with the FCT minister is that he doesn't know how to pretend.
Okay.
He will say it as it is. He expresses his grievances. He warned the party before the time, before he did what he did. And we expect that if then the leadership was understanding enough and believe in the party, they would have called him and said, okay, look at it. His politics is give and take. Okay, let's address this part. You leave this one, let's leave this one. And the party would have been in power today. But they were adamant to that fact. And he has explained, he made it known to Nigerians. So nobody can blame him, because politics is all about interest.
Yeah.
It's all about interest. So that was what happened in Rivers State for the presidential election. He gave his support to the present president, and all his supporters follow suit.
Okay.
Even the governor.
Yes.
Today in Rivers State supported what the FCT minister did.
Okay, let's talk about the defection of the 27 lawmakers. You know that led Governor Siminala Fubara to present the 2023 budget, appropriation budget, to only a four-man-led legislature, which led to litigations. And the latest is that, you know, APC went to court challenging that, the legality of that action, and the court gave a judgment barring the Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing funds, statutorily allocated funds, to Rivers State. And then Rivers State government went to court, to the appeal court, and judgment was given in favor of the governor of Rivers State and his people. And now they have set aside, the appeal court has set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja Federal High Court. How does that make you feel? What's your reaction to that?
No, you see, the defection of the 27 assembly members, I don't want to go into that, because it's still in court.
Still in court.
So I don't want to comment on that. But what I want to say is an aberration.
Okay.
And let me just use the word of a lawyer and a public commentator, Laboros Osamo. He said it's an aberration. 4 members to pass a budget.
That's true.
That is why countries have bicameral legislature, because so the executive will not stand up one day and say, no, we don't want people to breathe, and buy up the assembly and they'll pass a law. But when you have 2 legislative arms, it will be very difficult this thing. So how will 4 members of a house pass a budget out of 32 members? It's not even 1/3. For crying out loud.
Right.
That is autocracy. That's what we are practicing. It's no longer democracy, because you can call do this. 4? No. What of the other constituency? So my constituency is not present there. The budget, the member representing my constituency and my local government, for instance, will not peruse the budget and say, no, there is nothing coming to my NGO, and raise those. It's wrong. What is wrong is wrong, and we should say it. That is the truth. That is my reaction to it.
Okay, now, you know, maybe supporters of Governor Fubara are saying already it's not yet time for elections, actually, for 2027 elections, and the INEC has not yet lifted the ban on campaigns for the coming election circles. But some people are saying there is no vacancy in Rivers Government House. Fubara is returning. Could they be rhetorics, or what do you think they are?
It's rhetorics. That is the truth, because when they say there is no vacancy or there will be no vacancy in Government House come 2027, are you the people? It's the people of Rivers State that will decide. In as much as they will decide, the only fear I have is with the electoral body. I wish they would behave like the Ghanaian electoral body to allow the will of the people prevail. But coming to say Rivers State, there is no vacancy, Fubara will return. Let's see. 2027. Let's see how it will happen.
Okay. Yes. Now let's talk about ECOWAS. Let's shift gears to ECOWAS. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. You know, it is they are being led by military juntas, which you and I are familiar with the story. Now the latest is that ECOWAS had their session a few days ago, and you know, gave the three countries 6 months window within which to reconcile and come back. Otherwise, they will be kicked out of the sub-regional body. You know, permanently. What's your reaction to that?
You see, in the reverse, this thing of the ECOWAS Commission or ECOWAS, when a member is to withdraw from its membership from the ECOWAS, it will take 1 year.
Yeah.
So when I read and saw that they said they are giving them 5 months or 6 months window, the constitution, this thing article has already given them 1 year window.
Yeah.
To rethink and review their reason why they want to withdraw from the regional body. But it's very unfortunate, and I'm someone that most times against regional or the UN, because when an organization of that level does not have the biting force, definitely it becomes a club of elites.
Yeah.
It becomes a club of elites, and it will destroy the unity. Because look at what has happened in the 3 countries. Out of the 15 countries, 3 are withdrawing, and these 3, they are under military regime. And if the ECOWAS does not do anything to return these countries back to democratic process or democratic government, it will spread. Because those people will see, other countries will look at it, these people did it and they got away with it. Yes, we will withdraw our membership. Because if you place sanction on these countries, just like they've done, ECOWAS have done, it is the people that will still suffer.
That's true.
It's not just the leaders, because the military juntas, they are there in their villas and taking care of themselves. But the masses, the average Nigerian, the average Burkinabes, the average Malian are the ones that will suffer it. And that's why the ECOWAS should say how to modify this. Moreover, the intervention, the non-intervention aspect of this policy, it's not in tandem with modern reality in Africa. Until that is done, ECOWAS will just be a club of elites, just like the UN. That is not what we want. If Africa countries have agreed that we want to practice democracy, then there should be room. And that's why when Mama Gaddafi was alive, he talked about unity of having a command, a central command, African Central Military Command. Mama Gaddafi said that. So if that is not done in ECOWAS, and such a thing happen, you give them deadline. We are giving you 3 weeks, 3 months, return to democratic process. What are your reasons for this overthrow? If they refuse, you move into the country and make sure that they run away. Otherwise, other countries will emulate them.
That's right.
Other countries will do that, and before you know, the whole of the sub-region, you will see military regime, which is not in tune with the present development in the world. While the world are running away from military regime and military government, we are going back to military regime, because there is no deterrent. If they see that they have ECOWAS, have ECOMOG, move into Mali and face the military and push them out, and said, no, if you agree to do a democratic process, we can give you 1 year span to conduct election. You will not contest. Let there be a democratic. And you see, everybody, the military in other countries will be scared. If we do this, ECOWAS will come, they will not want to do it, no matter how the politicians misbehave, because they said the worst democracy is better than the best military regime. So if that is the case, what should ECOWAS should do something about ensuring that those countries move back to democracy.
You know, this thing, the intervention you advocated was mooted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the chairman of the commission, but it attracted so much pushback, you know, from quarters that were against it.
No, see, as a leader, definitely not everybody will support what you want to do. And let it be in the charter. If it's in the charter of the ECOWAS, nobody can stop you because it's there. What you are doing is legal. But when it is not legal, people will feast on it to say, no, don't go ahead. That is what the president suffered when he was saying that, no, military intervention should take place in Niger and some other countries. That's why there was this, because it's not in the charter. They said no interference in domestic affairs of the ECOWAS member. In terms of, there should be a clause that if there is military intervention, the body should intervene to ensure that within so time democratic governance is restored. You see, all the military regime will sit up and work towards that, because they know you cannot fight the 15 African countries, or 14 or 13 if 12 you are under military regime, 13 coming there. You can't now. So that is the issue. That was what led to the president proposal being failing. Okay.
So you mean including that clause in the charter will provide legal backing?
Legal backing.
And legal protection.
So the chairman, whoever becomes the chairman of the ECOWAS, to say, come on, move into so country, look at it. To checkmate the military taking over under, flimsy excuses. We know our politicians do misbehave. We know, yes, they are not performing to the expectation of the ordinary citizen, yes, but that should not be the basis, because when the military come, they also act like that. The difference is not much. So if it's on that ground, then they don't have any basis to overthrow any government.
Okay.
Rather, talk to the people. Let there be a proper democratic process. See what happened in Ghana. The people came out, they spoke, and the electoral body allowed the voice of the people to be heard and the will of the people to be seen. So that is what should happen in Africa. Not just saying that they want to withdraw and you allow them withdraw, they will not remain. Every country will withdraw. Today, now to service ECOWAS, Nigeria is paying not less than 800 something billion to ECOWAS. The burden of those countries, because Nigeria is a big brother, the burden of those countries now, financial burden will rest upon Nigeria. So that are the issues that need to be addressed.
Well, Comrade, I quite agree with you, and I am in agreement with what you've said, that the best military regime is better than the worst democracy, and also I quite agree with you that military takeover is an aberration.
It's an aberration
globally.
Yes.
But there are pundits who believe that politicians are using that as an excuse, and what they do, they take advantage to plunder, to sleaze, to enrich themselves corruptly, because everybody believes that military is an aberration. Yes. Now, would you say, on the basis of this observation, would you say the takeovers in these three francophone countries are justified?
No, it's not justified, because when they come to power, they also are corrupt.
Okay.
They are corrupted. They said absolute power corrupt absolutely. When they come, their own is even worse. So what we are saying is that they have families. Educate them. Enlighten them, in as much as also our political parties have failed in enlightenment of the citizenry. How to reject people. How to see what happened in South Korea. The citizenry stood at the National Assembly until their demand that the president should be impeached. And the National Assembly, when they look outside, they saw the crowd, they impeached the president. So that is what enlightenment can do. The military, they have families they take care of. They should enlighten the people, because they too, they suffer when the politicians are corrupt. Because the money that is due for them, they sacrifice their life for the nation. And allowances that due, they will not come. So they ought to also they need to sensitize their people to say no, vote the right people. Not the solution to corrupt democratic leadership is not to overthrow them with a military. No, that is not the way.
Okay. And one of their reasons for taking over reins of governance was, some sort of consensus against their colonial master, that is France. Against the backdrop of what is called neo-colonialism, that France is loading over them. So they want to, and they have decided by way of consensus to sever relationship with France. Would they be right to do that?
Yes, they are right to say that they want to sever relationship with their colonial masters. In fact, that was one of the things Abacha was trying to do when he joined in the international sphere. We call it South-South, the South-South dialogue.
South-South dialogue, yeah.
He was joining it to say, no, we will not allow these masters to control us. We will decide our fate, not those outside our shores to decide our fate. And he moved to tilting towards the South-South dialogue. And from rumor we heard, that was one of the things that led to his disagreement with some of the international organizations. Because we need to stand on our own. Let me tell you, Japan had no natural resources. But there came a time, the Japanese regime, and that is why we are talking about leadership, said no Japanese person will leave this country and no Japanese person will fly into this country if you are outside. They call that period in Japanese history the Tokugawa period. Yeah. And that period, nobody came in, nobody. They said, Japanese, you must develop yourself. Today, Japanese, look at Japan.
Japan economy
and everything. That is what African leaders should do, and not to go and be begging. You see African leaders, their stomach is hurting them. They are in UK, they are in US. What is wrong with our hospital? Build the hospital, provide the facility. I'll tell you something that happened. A lady was going to see a doctor. The doctor was busy. She said, oh, all these Nigerians, she left, she flew to London. In London, she bought a ticket, she paid for a hotel, and she was waiting for the person, not knowing that it's the person she left here and was this common Nigeria doctor, because it's a doctor. When she went there, she didn't know that it's a consultant to the hospital. She went and she waited. When she saw him, she was ashamed. He said, look at it, all this money, we don't have spent it. We have the hands, we have the human resources. What we lack in this country is leadership. We have the resources. So the problem is that our leaders should look inward. African leaders should look in. We have the market. Nigeria over 200 million. That's why you see Russia now is, China are rushing towards Africa. We have the market. So why not we develop ourselves and leave these people, forget their loan, forget everything, the British countries, institution. Concentrate on Africa. Don't allow them dictate your fate. You know what your problem, they don't know. So that is the issue we're having. Now,
President Bola Tinubu has embarked on shuttle diplomacy. Recently he was in France, he was in China, he was also in South Africa, Cape Town to be precise. While in France, he has signed, numerous memorandum of understanding with the French authorities. And then we have seen Access Bank, Zenith Bank, and lately United Bank for Africa, signing full-blown banking operations in France. Not only that, the Nigerian government has signed agreement for French companies to come and take over 2,000 mining sites in Nigeria. How does that make you feel?
I feel very bad. And I feel the government has failed. How many countries you see leaders fly to other countries to look for investors? Within you've traveled in the name of shuttle diplomacy not less than 30 times within not up to 2 years. It shows that you have failed. It's the most domestic policy that determines foreign policy. What have you put on ground? I want a Nigerian leader that will come, that will not do anything, will make sure that this country will have 24 hours light. Industries will come. You don't need to invite them.
That's right.
We have the health sector. If a foreigner is working in Nigeria, is sick, he will not need to be flown abroad. We have good water system. They will not, Julius Berger will not need to bring water from Germany to their foreign expatriates that are working here. When you put all those things on ground, countries, because they are business, they are looking for market. So you need to put the place properly in security. When they see the place is secured, People can, in the 80s, in the 70s, people will live, they'll buy newspaper, they'll drop paper and go. People will pay, drop money, pick paper and go. If the environment is like that, you will not need to go and beg people to come and invest. People will know that, they will be the one to come and beg to invest, because everything is on ground. Today, you are saying people should come and invest. There is no light.
Insecurity is everywhere.
Insecurity everywhere. So what do you want them to come and invest in? So I'm not impressed with those signing this, signing that. It's not today we start to hear they are signing this, they are signing that. What is it that is on ground that impact the average life Nigerian citizen? That is what we are talking about. That the government, because that is the constitutional provision, protection of life and property and welfare. What have you done? You are flying this. That money, use it to create cottage industries all over the country based on the resources in those states. We are told natural has the highest natural resources. Why are you going to? We have Nigerians that can invest in Nigeria. Today, Dangote built, in as much I feel a bit disappointed, by the largest refinery in the world, so to speak. This Dangote invested that, put everything into this thing, provide the needed environment. Nigerians will invest. We have Nigerians that are ready to invest. You don't even need foreigners. But the environment is not conducive. No insecurity, no power, no overpower is killing this country. That is the issue. So I'm not impressed with the signing. In fact, it's a show of failure that the government has failed.
You know, as a result of those meetings in France, many people raised the question of, you know, that while Francophone countries are severing relationship with their colonial masters, we are courting their relationship, we are inviting them, and that could be neocolonialism through the back door. Not only that, and it raised the suspicion of the French government coming to establish military base, and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, quickly debunked that, to say no, Nigeria is not ready to allow any foreign military base in the country. But we have French military alongside, the Nigerian military leadership in Maiduguri. They're talking about, joint effort to tackle insecurity, particularly Boko Haram and banditry. How would you react to that?
No, you see, I feel very saddened because we have one of the best military in the world. What is lacking is incentivizing those military men and boys on the field. The government and the leadership has failed to incentivize, ensure, come up with a mechanism that everybody that is at the war front, at the theater, will not get it through his commander, directly to his account. Come up, we have NIM. The government should come up, so those people will be, because they are going to sacrifice their life for Nigerians, even the president. When a military man dies, he should be buried as a president. We see how they bury them in America. You want to even die. But here you will see them, they just drum over when you have not gotten any rank, but you are fighting the war. They will just bury you like that. Your family, nothing. The next thing you see, they will put your family out of the barrack without any provision. Your whatever the benefit, they will not to see it will be a problem. So how will somebody want to sacrifice his life? We don't need any for it. We have the capacity. Nigerian military have the capacity. All those, what they need is incentivize them. Take care of them properly. The money you are using to go outside, use it. And we can use drone. When they are talking about insecurity in Boko Haram, I'll tell you something. I was discussing with an engineer in the oil sector in my state, in Rivers State. He said today, there is no bunkering going on. How do they do it? The military use drone to spot everywhere they see where they stick crude oil. And after that, they use military chopper and bomb those places. Why can't they do that? They did not even go to the creek. They stayed in their barrack and sort that out. Why would they need to go to the bush and waste the life of our young Nigerians? Military boys. They should use drone and go there and search these people. That when you see them, you flush them out. Not stay there and send people to the back and they now infiltrate the military. From what we're hearing, it has been alleged. So they give them information before they will ambush them and they'll kill them. Take drone. In fact, they said the boys, they shot one of the drone. The military got angry, brought a different a shopper that they go higher, no bullet can get to that point, and they last. Today, that's why you see that even this suit has reduced in Rivers State.
Okay, suit has reduced.
Reduced in Rivers State. So if they use that in the north, except some people are benefiting from the insecurity and don't want it, otherwise they can use drone and spot where those people are staying and decimate them, finish them once and for all, for the country to have peace. Because when we do that, international community will hear it, investors will come. We don't need to go and visit them. They on their own come. Our climate, our temperature is very friendly. We have a very friendly, climate that whites want to come, investors want to. But the problem, insecurity, power.
You said we have one of the best army in the world.
Yes.
And your response clearly indicates that you are not in support of the use of mercenaries to fight insecurity in Nigeria. No,
I don't believe, because you see, an Irish airman said, the country I fight for I do not love. The country I fight against, the people I fight against I do not hate. That is the mindset of a mercenary.
Okay.
But a Nigerian, seeing that they are harassing his country and is being taken care of, see how they have taken maybe his late colleagues in the process of fighting for, he will sacrifice his life to make sure that they push and mess those people up. But when he sees that nothing will happen, his salary is not getting, sometimes we hear pocket of protest, somewhere they are, complaining. How would they be happy to go and sacrifice? They should use those Nigerian army, take care of the boys on the field very well, not those sitting in the office alone. Those that are at the theater front with the guns, they should take care of them and see what will happen to all this insecurity we are talking about.
Well, talking about insecurity, we are moving to the next topic. It's just a transition. The National Bureau of Statistics has revealed that Nigerians paid a total of 2.2 trillion naira as ransom over the course of 12 months, which is between the month of May 2023 and April 2024. This is data, statistics coming from National Bureau of Statistics. This sum was said to have been paid by households affected by kidnapping incidents only, highlighting the growing threat posed by criminal activities in the country. According to the NBA's latest crime experience and security perception survey report, an estimated 51.89 million crimes incidents were recorded across Nigerian households in the period under review. How does that make you feel? There is huge insecurity in this country. 51 million people within 12 months, and a whopping 2.23 trillion naira paid to kidnappings for ransom. That is the reported ones. We're not talking about the unreported ones.
Yes. You see, it's because they are tolerating what is happening. The government is tolerating what is happening. If the government, the government should also fish out those that are profiting from the insecurity in this country and begin to decisively deal with such people. Then go for they cannot be the Nigerian military. I stand to be corrected. The Nigerian military is one of the best. We know they are coming, just like I wrote about Hezbollah.
Okay.
If they are using the Hezbollah approach, Nigerian military will have a unit. They will train them how to fight insurgents and yes, and we go for them. We have the men, we have the capacity, but we need to fish out those that are profiting from this insecurity. One, we need to incentivize those boys to play, because it's so painful that we have Nigerian household, people that are looking for what to eat, they will be forced. They will be forced through not their sweat, now their blood, to raise money to be able to pay for the lives of their loved ones to be released. And sometimes they will pay, they will not be released. It's heart-aching. I don't know if our leaders who listen to read this news. It's painful. And that is why they need to stand up. It is then a protection of life and property. Protection of life and property. If the place is peaceful, they will not even need security. If the place is secured, they will not even need the number of security personnel they carry along. We see in other countries. That is it.
Well, the survey showed that the Northwest region had the highest incidence of crime with 14.4 million cases reported, followed by the North Central region with 8.8 million incidents. That is very, very huge, and it's so sad. And we are talking about, attracting investors into the countries, and these figures are being doled out by agency of government that is in charge of data collection. How does it? What does that do to our image as a nation in terms of attracting investors?
No, definitely no investors will see that statistic and want to come, no matter what. Because the first thing an investor look at is the security. How is the security situation of that country I'm going to invest? Number two, what is the power, the power, is there availability of energy? Then we will not talk about looking at other areas. But these are the two things. And with that statistic, it will be very difficult for a Nigerian, I mean for a foreign investor to come in. It's heartbreaking to see that it is happening in any part of the country. I want to urge our leaders to stand up to this insecurity in this country. Because Nigerians, what they used to invest in business, take care of themselves, they use it to pay people that just to rescue their loved ones from terrorists and bandits. No.
Okay. We're going on a short break, and when we return, the program continues. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Continue to call in. This is one of the challenges Nigeria is facing. Our telephone line is right there on display on your screen. I am very, very sure our vibrant callers have been trying to call in, but they cannot get through. It's one of the challenges that government needs to tackle. Communications is very, very epileptic, is very, very poor in the most populous black nation on earth, Nigeria. We're going on a short break, please. Don't go anywhere, stay with us. You're welcome back. You have just joining us. You are on to the Polity, coming to you live from the Abuja studios of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network. It is a political program that delves into unfolding political events within Nigeria and even beyond the shores of the country. Our telephone line is open, and I'm sure it's going to be displayed on your screen by our producer. I'm very, very sure our viewers have been trying to call in so that they can make the program interactive and conversational. It is not your fault. It is not our fault in the studio. It is the fault of authorities that should make communication seamless and without glitches. But that's not what we are getting in Nigeria for now, the giant of Africa, the most populous black nation on earth. And with me here in the studio is Comrade Daboikiabo Warmate.
Thank you for having me.
We don't take your presence with us here for granted. Thank you for remaining with us in the studio. He's a PDP chieftain in Rivers State. Here taking a look at issues, breaking it down for us. Now, the National Bureau of Statistics further said the findings also revealed that rural areas were more affected by the crime than urban areas, with 26.5 million crime incidents in rural households compared to 25.3 million in urban areas. That is within the months of May 2023 and April 2024. Now, governors have met. They have all agreed by way of consensus to adopt state police. You know, are you in support of it? Are you a protagonist of state police or antagonist, or where do you belong? Or are you what do you call it? Sitting on the fence?
No,
or indifferent?
I'm a protagonist with some reservation.
Okay, with some reservation.
Yes, and that is the fear of the abuse of the state police by governors.
Okay.
There need to be a mechanism to checkmate the governors. Because even you say they should not appoint the whatever in the state, they have the resources to buy the conscience of that person, except that person will not. And there are very few people these days like that. So that is the problem. Otherwise, state police would have been the best for us. Moreover, with incidents in the rural areas, if you look at farmers are the major victims, whereas call it cattle, goat, they are the victims because the bulk of the security is situated at the city centers. So the rural areas where the farmers go to farm, that's why you see they were having issue with food insecurity, because the farmers no longer have access to their farms. They don't have access. Otherwise, they need to pledge loyalty, allegiance to some, groups as against their own nation. So that is the issue. Until we have a mechanism to checkmate the excesses of governors, I don't think it is advisable to go into it, because the governors will use it to deal with their political opponent very well.
When would you think is most auspicious to have state police?
Not even now it is.
Okay.
It just, you need to come up, they need to have a think tank that will come up and say, the problem is how to checkmate the governors using it to their advantage at their wins and caprices. That is a major issue. Otherwise, you are ripe for it. Because people, you know, if you are living in a community, you know yourselves. Even in some streets today, they have street committee, they interact. So if a stranger comes to that place, you know this is a stranger and you know how to handle the matter. If there's anything that is coming up, you have people that will give intel. And another thing is not just having the state police. Building, let the people trust the police system. Let them have confidence in the police so they can release informations without being, afraid that one person within the police hierarchy will release it to their opponent and will come attack them. Because that is what a lot of people, some persons experience and are afraid to release information when they have it. So that is the state police good, but we need to check the excesses of governors, and also we need to come up with mechanism to build the confidence of Nigerians. Nigerians should have confidence in the policing system, be it state police, be it federal police, or be it community police. When they have that confidence, you see that it will go a long way to make the job of securing a community or a state easier.
Now, I've listened to someone who argue that beyond, checkmating the excesses of governors that will use the apparatus of state police to their whims and caprices, to quote your phrase, is the issue of structure of the police. For instance, a state where I come from, Adamawa State, we have nothing less than 85 different ethnic nationalities, including the Fulanis, the Bachamas, the Higis, the Kanakuru, the Lunguda. Now, Nigeria is a very complex society. Even at the national level, we still argue about marginalization, about sectionalism, about nepotism, and issues like that. That could condescend or cascade to the subnational level when it comes to the structure of the police. Specifically, we are talking about the leadership of the state police. For instance, who is going to be the commissioner of police? Selected by who? The governor may like someone from his own area, and that will raise issues that will linger for a long time, that will create unending problems. What do you think? No,
that's why I said they need to set up all these things are issues that need to be addressed.
Is it constitutional?
No, so the state assembly will have hand in it. And there should be clauses that
peculiar to every state.
Yes, peculiar to every state, because every state have their peculiarities.
There are states that are homogeneous.
Yes.
Like the Igbo area.
You understand? Even the Yoruba area, some of them.
the same fate.
Yes. So that one is there. But the thing is that by the time they see, they'll come up and look at how it will suit their own. This thing, just like we have in other countries in the West. They will look at it, and based on that, they will not come up with a law that will protect the people, and also to ensure that the governors does not use it to their advantage.
Now, state governors have already made submissions, all of them.
Yes.
The only subnational that remained that had not made submission last week was the Federal Capital Territory, and they are convening in January to have a deeper or wider consultations and engagements in line with exactly what you are talking about. I hope you will be there.
Yes, I will. And that is why we also need to strengthen and encourage the citizens, fair awareness, so they can participate in the political process. Kwame Nkrumah said, seek ye first political independence and every other thing. I will say, seek ye first political awareness. Give your people political awareness. So if a governor take that advantage, he will suffer it because the people will push him out. So that political awareness, political parties has failed as regards that. The National Orientation Agency has failed as regards that. That is the thing. If we have that one, no matter how the people doubt it, you say gradually we'll get there. Today we are talking about America. Nigerians are on. America was also colonized like us.
Yes.
But today we are running there. Why not stay in the country and be the country? Same way we'll grow to that level. But we need to do it ourselves. People will not come and do it for us. That is the truth.
Okay. So you're a strong proponent of state police?
No, yes, there should be.
Okay. Now, there's so much focus on state police as a component that that is supposed to ensure, in fact, the major statutory agency that is supposed to provide internal security.
Yes.
What about agencies like the intelligence network? Can something be done? Because fighting insecurity and providing safe environment is a joint effort.
Yes, we have intelligence units. We have a body. Their own is purely intelligent. That is the DSS.
Yes.
We have intelligence unit in police, in the civil defense, and so on. But you see, what they are talking about, they are not looking at that. What they are looking at is how to decentralize the security system.
Police force.
Yes. Now you talked about also this. You can say in the clause, maybe in the acts that were established, that such a police system in the state, and say that every local government, the indigenes of those places should be the ones to. So you have fused state policing and community policing together.
That's right.
To achieve that security situation you wish to address. So that is it. So we have them in every area. Let's see. The number one.
Okay. We are being joined from Cross River State by S.O. Dudu, our regular caller. S.O. Dudu, we are very, very sorry. We apologize. We know you have been trying to reach us because we are a regular caller. Go ahead, please.
Imagine the beautiful Nigeria with KAFTANTV.
That's right, S.O. Dudu.
And imagine the beautiful world.
We appreciate you for that.
A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Hunohashi, Macauley.
As usual, I appreciate you for that.
Good afternoon to
Comrade, Daboikiabo.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to our esteemed viewers.
That's right.
And good afternoon to others that are there.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I want to actually listen and view KAFTANTV, but they have not actually made up their mind. Yes, let me first of all appreciate the management of KAFTANTV for this wonderful opportunity they are giving to us to contribute to the development of the nation. Let me first of all start by saying that yes, Comrade is doing very good job. We don't continue to bless you. I will let the other day one of the sister stations where they were discussing Wiki, and it was very hard with the co-discussor.
Okay. Comrade, you are hard on your co-discussant.
Thank you very much.
Let me start on the first topic.
Go ahead.
Mali, Burkina Faso, they are giving 3 months.
Yes, 6 months.
6 months to return to ECO. Yes, if you look at the exit of these 3 countries from the economic bloc, we should ask that what is the brain behind it? And we are all aware. Now, what personally I want other African leaders to learn, to take home is that they should try to be nationalistic in their government and governance. Because the people were actually complaining of bad government in those countries.
Okay.
Which the democratically elected presidents or whatsoever were actually dishing out to them. And in the course, while they were passing through some of these excruciating pains, the regional blocs leaders were actually aware. What do they do? There would have been a step they would have put in place to mitigate it. Now it has happened. And if you listen or if you are feeling the vibe from what is happening in the country now, I am very sure the citizens or the nationals of those countries, I am sure they are comfortable to a very large extent with the present leadership or the present people at the helms of affairs in the country. come to other African leaders is that they should try to take the welfare of the people very, very important. Because if they fail, we are going to see more of this Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger happening. We are not saying military government is the best to democratic government. But when democratic government or all the institutions of democracy fail to provide the good governance to the people will resort to self-help. And that is what has happened. But on the whole, I want them to rethink within this window they are giving to them. There is love in brotherhood. Let me leave it there.
Okay.
Then secondly,
go ahead.
Security. Northwest top 2.2 trillion naira ransom. We discussed this yesterday to a large extent.
Yeah.
If you look at, and this is the same question I posed yesterday. If you look at these people that have been kidnapped, these kidnappers, these bandits, that our security agency have been arresting. Have you seen any of these persons? Do they look like people that are actually enjoying these millions of naira they have been collecting from people as ransom? That was the question I posed yesterday. And why am I saying this? There are people that are smiling to the bank with the proceeds of this illicit act called ransom. And this is where the government must be tough. This is where the government must do the needful now. And I can tell us, you see, facts are not formed on opinion. It is rather opinion that are formed on facts. If you like, go and establish even KAFTAN police. Go and establish my village police. If there is no total overhaul of our policing system to conform with what is obtainable in other developed climes, to conform with what is obtainable in this 21st century, we will be dragging ourselves backward. Look at Benue State government. He launched a Benue State Civil Protection Guard from this people. Now, if you look at the act establishing something like EFCC, give opportunity to sub-regional or regional government to establish their anti-graft agency.
Yeah, that's right.
How many states currently in Nigeria is having an anti-graft agency?
None.
The rate that was achieved yesterday by EFCC in Lagos was done by the Nigeria EFCC. If you have a state EFCC, don't you think that would be a booster?
That's right.
And again, our boundary is so porous.
Yeah.
What of things like the forest guard, the vigilante, can state governors, with all they are having, with their immunity clause, with the security votes unaccounted constitutionally they are enjoying, can they strengthen things like the vigilante on the interim? Can they go into things like the forest guard to see how we can strengthen this issue of security and eliminate this issue of insecurity that has become a recurrent decimal that is affecting our economy? And we know two major things is the major determinant of economic growth. Security and power.
Mm.
And now, if people cannot go to the farm, that is to say, our inflation, food inflation will continue to rise.
That's true.
So can the state government at this particular point in time, can they please do the needful?
Mm.
I know that their hands are actually tied based on what they will say. But be that as it may, they have other power. If states like Benin State, if Ondo State, the late governor, Amateku or whatsoever, if we are recording successes in those states' own security outfits, can other states borrow a leaf? Most especially the states in the north, the state governors in the north, they need to do the needful now.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, S. Odudu, for your brilliant perspective as usual. We appreciate you whenever you call in to verbalize your thoughts. Could you react to a few? You talked about forest guard. You talked about, could you react to some of the things?
No, what he said is very correct, that in the interim, those things should be in place. And the governors should try and cut down their expenses, move at the security vote. They should see how they can set up, as it should be a palliative arrangement to ensure that this, because it's their state. Yes, they are waiting for the federal, but this is your home. So, forest guard, yes, Amatoku, or whatever you call it, just vigilante, empower those people.
Okay.
Work with them with the national security.
We've been joined by another caller. Hello, good afternoon. You're on, please.
Good afternoon, KAFTANTV.
Go ahead, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes. My name is Barnabas. I am also calling from Benin State.
Barnabas from Benue State, please go ahead with your perspective.
I'm very grateful for your conversation. I'm so much excited.
We appreciate you for calling in.
Yes. You are hitting on a point.
Okay.
I want to congratulate the last caller on this show.
Okay.
We are having a problem of insecurity in Nigeria.
That's right.
And I want to raise up my points. On my own personal opinion, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria cannot be overwhelmed. Due to some circumstances and reasons beyond it. If we are talking of security of life and properties, which is the major aim of government, in any given government institution or government body, we are lacking many things we want to accommodate before the security with their chiefs. You could imagine our military officers, our security agencies are having enough weapons to fight this banditry. I was so much disappointed once when I called a security man and gave him information about the banditry, what I observed, when this banditry are on operation. When I encounter them and call security, they ask me which type of gun they are having. So I was so much disappointed. What kind of security man will ask me which type of gun they are having? And it was military. So, in fact, before our security architecture should be completely empowered, we have to hold our political election officers accountable. Because if you want to fight security in a given place, and if you go on details of the security problem at the grassroots, the senators are having they're having their boys who always fight for their elections at the election period. The members of the House of Representatives have their own boys. They have their dogs. So when the election is over, and these boys are not completely compensated, then they have to find their way.
Okay.
You understand?
I do.
Those boys are having bones in the government. So if you want to touch them, you are touching government directly or indirectly. So we have to, the government is trying to raise up this issue of financing terrorists. But the government is not finding way. You can't fight them directly. So there are some indirect ways you can find them.
Yeah.
Now, if you heard that there is a predatory hideout somewhere, and if you want to send the Air Force to come and fight us, to come have the bomb there, these people will stay undergo some inside logistics so that the operation will not be successful.
Thank you.
I want to advise you people and audacity to advise those in government too. We can't fight this banditry without military takeover. We know what you are doing here is so nonsense. We can't achieve anything unless the government will hold members, the political leaders accountable, or the entry government when it is okay. Because the government doesn't lack capacity to fight those boys.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Barnabas. Thank you, Barnabas from Benue State. We appreciate you for your perspective. That is the beauty of this program. KAFTAN TV trying to avail this program, avail Nigerians the opportunity to air their views, guided by the Constitution, to exercise their freedom of expression. Freedom and expectations of good governance is for them. So that's why we encourage them to call in to air their views and share their thoughts with us. Warmate, let me ask you this. A whopping 2.2 trillion naira in 1 year, kidnapping for ransom, monies exchanging hands, is sad and is laughable. I don't know which one to choose, because I've never heard of a serious country, a developed country where dollars or whatever currency they use just exchange hands because you kidnap someone, he asks for ransom, and someone is ready to pay, and the money can be made cash, can be made available cash. It worries me. What do you think?
No, you see, that is beyond worrying someone, because it's saddening. There is no word to use to describe such thing. For a people to suffer this kind of a thing, and the government is saying that they are flying abroad to go and look for investors. Investors to do what? Invest in your country first as a government. Ensure that there is the insecurity issue is addressed, because you cannot leave this in the hands of anyone. The government had to come in. The government had to stand up. And this, when I mean the government, I'm not talking about the federal government alone. I'm talking about the state government, the governors. They should not hide under the guise that we are not controlling the military, we are not controlling the police, we are not controlling the DSS. Collaborate with them. The DSS provide intelligence to other agencies. Work with the DSS, gather intelligence, and flush these people out. Nigeria, I still say that the government can flush these people out if they want. If they want. But the thing is that they have not made the government has not made it a priority. If it becomes a priority and say, I want to achieve this, the government can do it. And that's what the state government can also support in that regard. Come up with vigilante. We've seen a situation whereby we've read where the community, the women in the community were like, we are fed up. If you want to kill us, they went after the bandits and they ran away. Women. It's in Casino, also in one of the northern states. They went, they caught one and even killed him. Because you are killing our husband. They went to reinforce such a thing. I believe the military would have been there. So that is the thing. They need collaboration at all levels, both at the state governors, call it vigilante, whatever you have, provide security for the people. Because it's people money that they will use to take care of themselves, the amount. I think some few years ago, that was the budget of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Some few years ago, that was the budget of Nigeria.
This is the budget for kidnappers in 1 year.
Yeah, in 1 year. So it's saddening. No serious investor will hear that and come.
I personally believe that kidnap for ransom is business. It has become business.
No, it's business.
It is thriving because when they kidnap and they ask for ransom, monies are made available and it's cash.
And that is
why do you think it's a solution? That
is why they need to really make use of the National Identity Management Commission, the NIMC process, ID.
Okay.
You don't, when they talk about cashless, it should be cashless.
Thank you.
It if the bandit know that we are operating a cashless system,
they will not
go into this, because some robbers have moved. They've seen that there is more business in this, and one of your caller mentioned something. Yes, because some of these people you see that are kidnapping, when you look at them, you hear so millions, but you don't see it on them. When you look at them, you see them, they are looking hungry and so on. So there is some people behind this thing, and the government should go after those people. That is how to address this issue. Those on the field and those sponsoring them should be dealt with, should be, intelligence about them should be gathered, and they should be arrested and dealt with decisively. That is the only way to stop this.
Okay, let's go on a short break. When we return, the program will continue. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Comrade, are you a proponent of cashless society? Because I'm asking this question against the backdrop of the fact that MFL started it during Muhammadu Buhari regime, and it was said to have been targeted at the then candidate of the All Progressives Congress, who later became the president, as President Ahmed Tinubu. And then I've listened to some people who say cashless is good for every country to go cashless, because that's what developed societies do, even in Africa. South Africa, Rwanda, they have all gone cashless, even Egypt. But people are saying, some pundits are saying, if you adopt cashless, someone will take the credit, and that's Emefiele. How do you react to that?
And that is a problem. We don't need to bother who takes the credit or not. Because the person that will take the credit must have contributed in one way or the other. But the cashless process will help the present insecurity in this country. Because when there is no cash to give,
there's no cash to give.
It's transfer. We will not know the account that is receiving that cash.
Exactly.
There are processes the security agencies will trail and get. Even corruption, to address the issue of corruption. If people cannot carry, because today as we speak, it's even illegal to carry more than 10,000 if you are flying out of the country, $10,000.
Yeah.
So that is the cashless. There should be a certain amount. If you said social amount more than this, it should be cashless transaction. People will abide by it. I'll give you a simple example. Nigerians, all they need, just leave them. Look at Zone 7, because road safety stands there. There is a line. Road safety stand there, and no car beats that line when they see the stop. But go to other spot, no road safety, they will stand there. People, when you cross to the zebra crossing, you see them immediately arrest you. And people have started showing, when you come to that point, nobody beats that line. They will stop by that. What Nigeria wants, just show them the right thing to do and instill that thing in them. That what call it discipline, call it that whatever it is, instill it in them, and you see them make progress as regards that. So what the cashless thing is because of the intention. It was politically motivated.
Yes.
That is why Nigerians rejected it. And when you are introducing a policy, there should be a period of 3 or 6 months to enlighten the people about the policy, how the policy will go about. So people will start to buy into the idea. It will not be your idea.
But the timing was suspicious.
Yes. It will be the people's thing, and they will accept it because it's good for everyone. For the most especially today, we need it because of this insecurity. Those bandits will not condition you to bring social amount when they know that you tell them it's transfer, no bank will give you that. They will leave your person.
But today, when they demand for, because I remember the case of the Anglican primate.
Yes,
he was kidnapped and they demanded for 100 million naira. He spent one night. The following day, cash was made available, 100 million naira. I can't imagine any country that would do that except Nigeria.
That is the truth.
The money was made available and
that
it was
is the
released.
Truth. And
he addressed a press conference and mentioned it.
Yes.
That the church provided 100 million naira and they made away with the money.
And that is the issue. If today we are not in election period, the president can look into it, call experts to look into it and start the process of this cashless, create awareness, let Nigeria know, and also make provision for the POS machine they use. Because today, even with what we are experiencing, look at, there is no cash to spend.
No cash to spend.
You buy naira with naira.
With naira.
A shameful thing that you will never see in any part of the world.
No.
You use naira to buy naira? For crying out loud. We really have problem with our leadership in this country.
Yeah, we do. We do. I quite agree with you that we do. Now, you earlier talking about leadership. You earlier talked about something. You said you are disappointed with the Dangote arrangement. You earlier mentioned
yes.
it, and I picked the word. I underlined it. Disappointed. You alluded to that fact. And now Dangote, we're hearing from the first today that he's extending his services to 3 additional African countries. How do you react to that?
Well, you see, when the Dangote refinery was being built, Nigerians were so happy. Nigerians supported him. Nigerians stood with him.
Okay, Esodudu is calling. We are being joined by him from Cross River State. Also, Esodudu, our regular caller. Go ahead, please, your perspective on that, on the topic. Go ahead.
Well done, Mr. Hunohashi. You are doing a very good job.
Thank you, Esodudu. I appreciate it.
Well done to Comrade.
Thank
God
you.
continue to bless us.
Amen.
Please, let me go this way. I'll be brief.
Okay, go ahead.
As it stands now, if you, Mr. Macauley Hunohashi,
That's
mistakenly transferred 100,000 naira to Comrade's account, if you run to a bank and complain, you are going to discover that bank will take an immediate action by putting a limit or froze that account where he cannot lift that amount.
Yeah.
I believe you are aware.
Yeah, fully aware.
Yes. Now, if the federal government has given a mandate to the National Identity Management to register Nigerians, and they have been doing it. Now, banks have also directed that we must link all our BVN, our NIN with BVN. Then, NIN has also directed that we must link our phone number, phone numbers with NIN. Is that not enough for this government bodies or agency that have been saddled with this responsibility to make sure they begin to do the needful by doing interagency collaboration, whereby there will be monitoring, where we are having, whenever we are having an illegal transaction, a transaction of that nature, if the money has been paid and the security agency is being alerted, then is it not good that there should be that interagency collaboration whereby the bank with synergy with the NIM and the phone numbers will begin to monitor those persons and track them down? If they are not doing that, the president, if he's not listening, I'm sure one of his appointees
They are listening.
is listening.
That's right.
They should tell the president, if these bodies saddled with this responsibility cannot copy, that is to say, they have failed his administration and failed Nigerians and Nigeria. Thank you so much.
That's right. We appreciate you, Esodudu, as usual. We have 30 seconds to wind down. And you're talking about Dangote. What's your disappointment?
No, my disappointment is that we expected that with the coming on stream of the Dangote refinery, the price of petroleum product will come down. But rather, it still remains up high there. It's unfortunate because you get the crude there. You complained, Nigerians supported you. The government now said buy crude with Naira. So what is keeping it? Because today, the landing cost is for importing fuel is 971.51. Now, if it's 971 naira, you that is refining it here, we expect that with Dangote refinery to buy fuel at like 300 or max 600. But it's unfortunate that Dangote's product is even more expensive. It was just recently they reduced it from lifting from their refinery, reduced it to 900 and something. Almost the same thing with landing cost.
Exactly.
So what is the problem?
Exactly.
So it's not only the government. What is the problem? What is making that product not to come down? Because you are buying in naira, no longer dollar, and you are refining it here. So what is the issue? So we cannot understand that Dangote refinery magic.
Okay, I think we'll come back for detailed analysis on this topic. The Dangote issue is a topic on its own. Thank you so very much, Comrade Daboikiabo Warmate, PDP Chieftain from River State. We appreciate your coming to the Polity today on KAFTANTV Live.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's the size of our package. I remain yours truly, Macauley Hunohashi. See you next time. Bye-bye from me. God bless Nigeria.